G'day everyone, James here with JWN Lawn Care and Landscaping, bringing you another video. Hello YouTube. It's late. It's like 8:30. It's dark. Only like a month or two back, it was actually still light at this time of night. You know, the sun hadn't quite set, but now as we're getting into winter, or towards winter, it's getting darker and darker. Anyhow, it's the 17th of April. And this week has probably undoubtedly been the most ridiculous shopping spree week of my entire career, or in fact my entire life. So, I'm going to run you through what's happened this week, because it's kind of a string of batshit crazy events that have led to what we're now running. So, number one, a lot of you guys in the US have seen these things called Darwin's grips, these trimmer handles. Now, both myself and Connor have found that we're getting a lot, and my dad too when he's been helping me, I found we're getting a lot of back pain and arm pain and everything else when we're trimming, because the whippies we use, they're just not long enough and we can't adjust the handles up high enough to suit us, so you're always kind of bending over a bit, and it stuffs your back up, right? Yesterday, Connor, he could hardly bend. We were doing a hedge reduction job, so I was cutting a lot of stuff, and I needed him to pick up a lot of the branches and take him over to the trailer and piff him in, but he just couldn't, because it was, his back had been stuffed from doing a lot of this trimming. And I am training him up on the ride-on to try and, kind of so we can, and I get him to push most and stuff sometimes, just so I can vary the rolls around, because having worked for other people myself, I know how much it sucks to be the guy stuck on the whippy all day, so I don't want to be doing that to him where I can. Anyhow, so we got our Darwin's grips. This old thing has been doing some work for us, the old Gardenline. We're starting to encounter a few problems with it. You know, it's getting old. It's probably done a fair bit of work. It's only actually got 20, is that 25? Can't be. The meter's stuffed up. It hasn't done too many hours on the meter, but you've got to remember, I put that meter on like 2 years after I actually bought it. And before that, it was my main, workhorse handheld-wise. It was my main trimmer, my main everything. So, yeah, for a cheap unit, it's lasted really well. It's been dinged up, it's been used hard. It's done a lot of work for me, made me a lot of money. It's starting to get tired, so let's do this huge hedge reduction, which you'll see coming up. Massive pittosporum, keep getting the words mixed up, pittosporum, and we basically had to reduce this hedge in the front and the hedge in the back too, can't remember the one in the back's name, by half. Massive job. Anyhow, so that thing was starting to falter, and I thought, geez, need something else. So I went to hire a battery pole saw that I've hired before. It was stuffed. So I thought, what am I going to do? I got to get this job done. Unfortunately, Rob had this. So that's what we're working with. So yes, I bought a Stihl HT103. Did I need it? No. But here's why I did. I looked at, what I had and what I had left and everything else, and how many tree jobs and hedge jobs we do each year where I could use one of these things. And I went, it's actually going to cost me more in downtime and waiting around and stuffing this customer around to try and get this other one fixed, the broken rental one. There it is, just buy one and finish the job and be done with it. So I went, fuck it, just gotta do it right, bit the bullet. Oh crap, my battery's running low again already. So I bit the bullet on that, and it's worked awesome. You'll see in the video, it's great. It extends miles, I won't try and do it now one-handed, but it goes a long way. tons of power. I know it's not the top model. I think you can get the HT133, but this is way more than enough power. And the beauty of not having the biggest engine is, it's also quite a bit lighter. Oh, what's this, Nank? Oh yeah, mine knows that too, huh? Well, that's not the FS94, is it? Could be. No, it's not. What's happening here, Nank? Well, the old Shindaiwa AH230, which is actually my uncle's, which I've been using for quite some time now, dedicated pole hedge trimmer. It's getting really old. I reckon it's at least 15 years old. It's had a hard life, and it's on its way out. So I thought, we're doing quite a bit of hedge work, because you got to remember we're doing some body corporate properties now where there's a lot of hedges, and I thought I just need something new. I've been wanting to replace it for a while, so I did, because I took it into Rob. I said, look, it needs a new bar or something, like the cutter bar, because it was stuffed. It just wasn't working properly. Bolts were coming out of it, everything else cooked. I won't even start on the engine and everything else. He said, look, honestly, he said, for the cost, better off just buying something new. So this is what they have. I would have loved if they had the HL91, because the FS91, I put the hedge trimmer attachment on the 91 for this hedge reduction I did, and it's awesome, way more power than this. But you don't need all that for most hedges we do. This is fine, and it's super light. That's why I love it. Part similarity, because they're both 94 engines. Interestingly though, this one doesn't have the easy start system. Can anyone tell me why? Because I don't quite know, but I like this way better. The easy start, I think, is not good for commercial operators. Steve Small Engine Saloon did a good video on that recently, explaining why. Versus this one, see, it's different, hey? Excuse the slippers. I've taken my work boots off. I do love these starters though. On the, you know, the 91s and the 131s and so on. Very easy, but I like that starter. So I got this. This actually has a longer bar, 60 centimeter, I believe. Longer bar than on the combi version. I think the combi one's a little bit shorter. I know my Gardenline one is, and it's a little bit longer than the Shindaiwa one too, and it's super light. That's why I love it. So we blitzed through hedges the other day. It's just so maneuverable. My only dislike with it is because it's got such a big bar at the end. It's kind of unbalanced, whereas the Shindaiwa was pretty well balanced. But no matter. And also you'd see the Darwin's grips. So we've got these on both our main trimmers now. As you can see, it's set up in the edger for the FS94. We don't normally edge with the FS94, but Connor did today for some reason. I don't know. I think I was trimming in the backyard of a property with the 91. But it works really well, especially for the edger on the 91. I found I was bending over so much to, you know, get it in the kind of along the concrete. Whereas with this Darwin's grip, it's so much better. And both of our backs, we've all agreed. My dad, we used it briefly later today as well. It's so much better having these. So I'll sit you up on here maybe. I gotta keep this video brief because my battery's like running out. But you know, it's so much better being able to just I've had to tilt the handles slightly so I can fold them down to fit them in my trailer toolbox. So you can fold that handle down so it fits in. And then I found it's better on a bit of a slight angle rather than being trying like that. And you can just, like it's effortless. So see how my back is still properly straight, whereas I hold the handle straight away, my back is going down, bent over. I use this and I can actually stand up straight. It doesn't matter how high up you put this trimmer handle, because of its size and how low it is, you're always going to be bending over. Like even if it was right up next to the throttle trigger, you're still bending over a bit. With this, no problemo. And this, really comfortable. I could go like this all day. And it's the same thing on the 91, you know? And I also find extra good on this because it's a bit of extra anti-vibration too. I don't even know if I've installed them correctly, to be honest. Like, let me know if I've done it wrong, but so good. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but not really. So I highly recommend these Darwin's grips. They did take a little long to get here because obviously with the whole coronavirus thing, everything's been slowed down. But here in Australia, they're about, depending on whether you buy them in like a pack of 3 or whatever. I only bought the 2, so I just bought them at single price. They're about 130-ish each, around that figure. This I got a deal at $12.50, and now I think I got $9.50. So combined with the other order I've made this week, I spent nearly $3.5 grand. Not good in times like this, but it's for a worthy cause, right? I need to face the light so you can actually see me. It's for a worthy cause, okay? So I know all of these things are going to pay themselves off, and they're all going to do me really well, and I'm already seeing a massive improvement with them. You know, I'm very happy buying the HL94 because I know the FS94 engine has lasted me forever. I've hardly ever touched it. Like, far out. How many hours is on this now? 142.1. Plus, you'll probably easily add on another 50 or more that I did before I put that hour meter on. So that machine's done a lot of work. We just got the 50 hourlies done on the BR700 and the FS91 recently. That's a bit of an exercise. How many hours on this? 55.8. So this is actually, is that an 8? No, 55.6, sorry, I think. So this has actually been seeing a lot of use. Connor quite likes this trimmer, I think. And I like it too, to be honest. Like, apart from the vibration in it, it's really solid. We're using orange line a lot because I've still got so much of it. I just want to use it up because it goes bad eventually. But even Connor found this green stuff in my trailer somewhere. I need to replace these heads too. I've got 2 new head caps sitting in my trailer, just haven't put them on. Splits, see? It's not the best, but, you know, it still works. I need to get more of the CF3 Pro. I really like that cord. How many hours have we had on? I can't even see that. 63.8, I think. Yeah, something like that. So a lot of these tools, you probably think, oh man, why aren't you doing many hours on them? Well, I'm not doing many hours because they've sped up my time per job so much, you know? So where I might have spent an hour on a whipper-snipper on each job, you know, previously, because I've now got a more powerful one or whatever, I can get the same job done in 25 minutes. And so I'm putting less hours on them, but they're still paying for themselves, you know? So yeah, this week's been a bit of a mixed week. That hedge reduction was not priced properly. We spent basically a day and a half there. You know, 8 hours total, I think it was, but realistically we were there for the majority of yesterday and half of today. So you know, between the back and forth and everything else, yeah, day and a half really. That job was nowhere near what I should have priced it at, but these things are learning curves, guys, okay? So you know, you can beat yourself up over stuffing up a quote or, you know, whatever, but realistically, you're going to make it up. So, for instance, I really messed up that hedge reduction quote. Well, I didn't really mess it up. Like, I've still turned a profit, but I haven't turned much. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't made a lot on it, but that doesn't worry me because it's experience, right? But at the same token, later today, as we were actually going back to finish that job, I got a call for another lawn we did, which you'll see later on. I'll upload that, and another one we did later tonight with the John Deere. And that job we did, I probably overquoted. I honestly, I know you shouldn't normally do it, but I discounted the job a little bit for the guy because I just thought I've charged a lot for this for really not much work. So where I probably didn't make tons on that hedge reduction, I actually quoted the same amount. I ended up charging the same amount for this overgrown lawn we did as I did the hedge job. The lawn took us an hour and a half, the hedge took us 8. So I guess kind of it shows me it's best to stick to what you're really good at. So we're really good at doing overgrown cleanups. Like, it's evident from that we're really good at pricing them. Like, I'm pricing them right. Saying that, I've messed up those ones too. Piss off, fly. I've messed up those in the past too, but I've got a lot better at it, and I'm pricing them properly, where they really should be. So we're turning a high profit margin on the large majority of them, and especially when you have the right tools, like that John Deere, like the Victa, like whatever zero turn I buy at the end of the year, you can get through these jobs a lot quicker, and so your profit margin's higher. I honestly, if I'd had this yesterday when we started that introduction, we would have been done in about 5 hours, which is what I was anticipating it to take. I didn't realise that one would be so inadequate, just because of how high it was and how wide it was. I hadn't realised this thing. You know what? I'll try telescoping it for you. I'll try to extend it out. It extends a long way. So, let me move this back. I do like that it has a handy little engine guard. I hope you can see me there. So, we'll take this. Probably do oiling. Oh, that's a terrible sound. Oh god. So that's how far it goes out. So, that's that's a pretty serious saw. You can do a lot with that, which, if we compare it to the Gardenline, like, far out, you know? So this is what we've currently been working with, and see, I wouldn't have had so much a problem with this Gardenline if it wasn't so heavy, and if you could actually get extensions for it. So let's line them up at about the same starting point. Wow. That's how far the Gardenline goes. So the Gardenline basically finishes where this one starts. And that one has a longer bar too, and obviously a better chain and everything else. That's hilarious. So, they're actually relatively the same length. I mean, this one's still like a good, probably 12 to 14 inches longer, this one, when it's collapsed. But, yeah, that shows you the difference. So, of course, once you can extend that out, it's so much easier. And this too, apart from the fact it slides around when it's, like, clipped on, it probably shouldn't. This is really helpful. I need a better harness for it because this keeps jabbing into you, but it makes so much of a difference because it's a reasonably heavy unit, but it's not terribly bad. I actually think they're about the same weight, even though this one's way longer. And so with that on, that little harness, it helps tons because it takes so much of the weight off you. Anyhow, my battery's like dead, so yeah, just wanted to give you that little introduction. My bank account is crying, but I'm happy on the inside. Tell me what you think of these two. Do you have them? Do you have any problems? What do you think? Peace in the Middle East. Don't eat bats. Be good to your customers. I'll be good to you. Tell us what you want to see in the next one, and have a great day.